Sorry about all this. Needing to adjust my setup a little bit. Alright, I got everything set up. And I'm going to turn this down just... Alright. Hello. Okay, so. Block art. Today I'm going to be building a skyscraper. Didn't realize they were on. Shit. Fuck. Anybody need the night Or can I sleep? Okay, this music is just... Alright, so, as you can see, I have made no progress on my house. That's okay. I don't need to have made progress on my house. I have gone to the Nether. And I've gotten, the things that I need from the Nether, the blaze rods. So I have a brewing stand now. And I've made some potions. And now I'm gonna get a little bit more XP. Dynamite. Dynamite. Where is the guy? The Fletcher man. Fletcher man. Da, 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 da. There he is. Hello, find my flint. I have a bunch of one of the worst foods in the game because that's... I was trying to get more XP levels and... well, that's how I ended up doing it. Which, you know... cringe, but you know, it's manageable. Also... I have... like... 7 netherite ingots. Like, I'm not even joking. Where are they? There they are. 7 netherite ingots. Okay. Now, if I remember correctly, I think I might have slightly more. Aha, there we go. Nine. I have 9 netherite ingots right now. I can, as soon as I get the upgrade template, which I'm working on, I can actually go and like upgrade my stuff. So I'm excited for that. But I'm going to, in the meantime, it's time for me to make my own skyscraper. So what I'm thinking about using for the most part is going to be copper and smooth quartz. I have no idea what I'm going to do with either of these blocks, but that's what I want to do. If you'll allow me to show you around spawn. Well, not spawn, but area near spawn. Cool. Heyo, it's cool. Yeah, good. Oh, sorry, I don't know what's wrong with me. That's a lie, I know what's wrong with me. It's autism and depression. speaking of autism, I may have fallen for a scam. Anyways, so this is the pagoda. This was made by Tedum. He's another content creator on the server, and you should check him out. He does YouTube, not streaming, but he does like more like old school Minecraft content. So a lot of what's it called? I don't know. His vibe, he just has like older SMP. It's older SMP vibes. So if you miss that kind of stuff, you should definitely check him out. So this is the wall, nice pretty wall. It's a nice wall, I suppose. But it's blocking my ability to show off the mega skyscraper. See? Look at that. So yeah. I want to build a skyscraper too. I want to fit in with all the motherfucker! Fucking around with that shit. So, what am I going to use to make this tower? Well, gonna need copper. I should wax the copper, which now means I have to go get bees. Yeah. I guess I'm making a bee farm. Alright. How do you make observers? Okay, so that's 2 redstone, 1 quartz. I'm gonna need some more quartz to do this. I'm gonna do this while I still have the ability to. Okay, so that's what we have so far. You need to get quartz. I should get a little bit more, what's it called? Before... Cobblestone. I should get more cobblestone, right? Because that's what you need. Yeah, cobble. We have no coal. That's fine. I can find coal. It's not that hard to find. So this server is mostly vanilla with a handful of commands. Are there any bees? We'll find out. Come on, cave. Show me a cave. I need a cave so that I can get... I'm making a super flat Mooga Dooga base. What's that mean? What's a Mooga Dooga? Also, hi Crimson. Also, I should probably update my stream info so that it says that I'm getting ready to build the mega base, because I don't have all the materials I thought I did. Also, Crimson, shouldn't you be in bed? Like, I'm not your parent or anything, but it is a little late. Okay, let's see. What else should I grab before I... Okay, so that's actually going to be... Yeah, so I don't need more cobble. What I do need is... I started a fight-ish with Sam in Discord and I am in bed watching your stream. Oh no! Hopefully it didn't get too rough. So now I gotta get thing. Okay, yeah, so I have that on. Oh, so this is where all my chickens went. Anyways, quartz. If it did, I would be banned by now. Well, I mostly meant, like, too rough emotionally, like, you've come out the other side. Even if you don't necessarily feel good, you don't necessarily feel worse about yourself. Really just talking emotions, not like, did you do a fist fight? I need to, yeah, I have my simulation and render distance up a little bit higher than usual. So I was playing on my own. It's probably making my game a little laggy. Okay, so we got that. Alright, that should be plenty. So I can take that, and craft a shit ton of observers, and then I'm gonna want to craft. Okay, so I'm going to need to turn that. I'm not sure why, but I rarely laugh or cry. Yeah, that happens. Well, why am I have a villager I could just buy these from. So I need 12 of those. I can make some of them. I'm not particularly emotional either, until all of a sudden I get, really fucking emotional. And even then it's still hard for me to cry. Laughter is a lot easier, though. And we all get depressed sometimes. Not in like a, oh, it doesn't really matter type of way, but in like a... might want to talk to someone about it way. Okay, I got 7 already. I can't get 5. Can I? Oh yeah, I can actually. Which is good, because then I get XP from it. Honestly, I wouldn't be too worried. If you're having trouble with expressing emotions, it can be upsetting to know that you're feeling something and not be able to, like, externalize it. But there are ways to work with it. Alrighty. Just grabbing this coal. Alright, so that's pretty fucking decent. Oh, there's even more. IDK if this just happens, but my fisherman villager trades string infinitely. That's wild. That's abnormal. Infinite money glitch in Minecraft found? Let's get these spooters so that I can get the string. Alrighty. So, why did I get upset? You know, sometimes autism just takes over and you just can't fight it. You know? Where is the redstone? There it is. Dispenser. Okay, so bee farm. Oh fuck, I gotta figure out how to do like the automatic collection thingamajig if I want to make this work. Let's see, what else can we do with what we've got? There's an iron farm on this server, and I'm not sure if we're allowed to just take from it or if it's just one guy. For everyone. Or do I need to trade with someone for me? One by the pagoda. Didn't realize there was more than one. Dum dum dum. Take a look at the iron farm later. You can use my farm in the meantime if you need. I stuck to. Jinx is talking to Tedum. Okay, so I'm gonna make myself a barrel. And I'm gonna put my bee farm stuff in it. So I'm gonna do so far we got those, and now we're gonna add the flowers. Oh, and some dirt, of course. Okay, so the other thing I'm gonna want to get is sand. Great, so out to look for more sand. There he go. Nope! Yeah, that pagoda was built by Tatum, the guy who just left. He's kind of insane. Jeez, it takes so long to eat when you're eating cookies. Honestly, this is why pies are better. Alright. So the bees... How many bees are there that are going to be in that hive? You gotta go inside the hive? Eh, fuck it, it's not worth waiting around. Sand, and bees. Sand and bees. Sandy bees. Okay, so we're gonna have 12, so we're gonna get at least 24, and we're gonna need more than that, for sure. Stack. Honestly, that's probably gonna be the best bet. Trigger home. Okay, so we got that. We got the sand cooking. Jeez, this is gonna take a long ass fucking time. Alright, I'm just gonna steal a little bit of iron because I'm gonna need some for the farm, the bee farm. So why isn't this working? I'm guessing there's an iron golem somewhere. That's not too much, is it? Is it too much? There we go. That'll be a little over a stack. That'll definitely be fine. So I wonder where the iron golem is. I think it's in here. Nope, that's the creeper farm. Okay, so we're gonna drop that off in there. Now I need to look up how to make one of those, those things that catch the shit. I guess I could just do... Oh, I'm only gonna need two of the... I'm only gonna need one of... Oh, god damn it. Alright, and... I'm gonna have to get some... wood? Okay. fucking hate these kinds of trees. They're so complicated and for no good reason. They're so hard to chop down. And for what? So light. Way more wood? It's not even that much more wood. Okay, so in 5 minutes we're gonna have to hop off and do a little bit of probably MCCI. Although what'll probably happen is it'll probably be right back up immediately, but I'll use it as an excuse to play MCCI. Activator rail. I need the what am I even gonna do with the activator rail? I still haven't figured those out, if I'm being completely honest. So for that you need... stone pressure plate? Is it a wood pressure plate? I'll be honest, I'm gathering these materials very vaguely off of, okay, a Pixel Riffs tutorial that I do not fucking remember. God, I love BattleBox. I'm bad at this game, by the way. I am shit at it. I still fucking love it. Yes! I got a sharpshooter! Ooh, that's a really cool skin. Fuck, fuck! Shit. This is what I meant when I said that I'm not even good at this. Yo! Bruh. Maybe I can do well. Damn, okay, Lime Team's doing well. Oh dear. Oh yeah! Didn't finish in last place. Now I got 10th place. And time to open up Lockhart. Okay. feels weird to ask a second time. So I'm not going to. Is this a mine or is this a lot of string. So how long do I wait until I say I shouldn't ask again. I'll just grind some levels out while I'm here. I should get arthropods on a sword. That would be good. AA, like for alcoholics? Huh? Dude, I don't know what you're referencing. Oh, I think I said how long until I say hey. 'Cause like I asked someone for an upgrade template so that I can make a so I can upgrade my gear. And they asked me to wait until the server restarted, so I did. I'm a little old farmer man. I'm gonna kill somebody. What? Who said that? What, is that just a random lore drop for Triumvirate SMP Season 6? Shit. Phew. Alright, so now, with that, I can upgrade. So that's gonna make 5. Oh, okay, that makes 8. Yeah, I'll make 1 more. Alright, so. Home. Gonna make. Oh, wait, I already have one of those. It's up here with the village. I need to get the lurk thing. I don't know how to do it. But I need to get lurk as an option so that people can, like, lurk on my streams. If they want to. I mean, they don't have. Nobody's obligated to lurk. Nobody's obligated to watch. Pet Painted. But that's just more of a community service thing than anything else. I lurk in the shadows and wait. Yeah, I'm a badass. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and upgrade that. Alright, and I'll wait to get better gear to upgrade. Like my axe and shit. Okay, so I ended up using, like, a stack or so of diamonds, but it's worth it to get that, that netherite. Painted lurks in the shadows. Alright. Oh. Well. For however long this lasts, it's a great time to find bees. Let's look for some bees for the bee, farm. I know that I said, that I would be making a, skyscraper today, but I was wrong. Ah, shit. Fucking fuck. Oh, shit. Ah, well. There goes my bee access. Hello, Gecko. Hi, Hornet! Welcome back to the stream. Glad to have you around. What I miss? Not much. I'm looking for bees. Which you may say, Gecko, the, stream... Ah, Painted changed his name color, cool. You may be saying, Gecko, why does the stream say that it's, you're currently, building a skyscraper when you're looking for bees? Oh, yeah, you also changed that. Okay, I see. Oh, one other thing you missed was I got full netherite. Still need to get it on, like, all of my tools, but I don't have, like, the best tools all around yet. So, kind of waiting on that. And now I'm looking for bees so that I can make a bee farm so that I can, wax copper for, my thing. Skyscraper. Because everybody else on the server builds skyscrapers, and I want to be like the cool kids. They seem to fit in. Last song sounded like me playing piano. I don't play piano. Painted, have confidence in yourself. Come on, where are the bees? Bees. I need bees. Oh, but there's coal in there. I'm very, very funny. Yeah, and... Ho, oh, ho, ho. Your mama. Whee! Oh gosh, I am so happy I got the netherite armor. Now all I gotta do is not die in a stupid place so that I can always find it. Because otherwise I will have to go netherite mining all over again. And I don't want to do that. Actually, who am I kidding? I would fucking love to go netherite mining all over again. So new Star Trek dropped, and I watched it. It answers some stuff in the meta. Ooh. That's fun. Do it then. Nah. I want to get bees for my bee farm. Spoilers. That's alright, don't worry. Painted, are you planning to watch the new Star Trek anytime soon? I'm fine with spoilers, as long as Painted is fine. No, Luke Skywalker sucks. Yeah, you're good to go! I'm curious to see what they've updated. Come on, where is the bees? So we were talking about Khan in the last episode of the Gecko Show. That is true. Did they answer some of the questions about Khan and the weird DNA shit? So, is that the guy who was Idris Elba but turned into a different guy? I think it might be painted. I've only seen one Star Trek movie. Well, because you mentioned Idris Elba, we can pretty safely assume that the Star Trek movie you saw wasn't number 4, the one with all the whales in space. Or was it Dolphins? No, Dolphins was Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. No, it was the guy from Fantasy Island, and they recast him as Doctor Strange. Yes, Whales in Space was the best. Humberpets. Wow, Painted. That joke would have killed in 2014. I wasn't around in 2014? Yeah, I've wondered. I have notes on Whales in Space as well. That's cool. Go ahead and info dump if you want. I am curious about, like, the con stuff. Where the fuck are the fucking bees? I mean, they're not fucking yet. That's part of why I need to get them, so that they start fucking. They could be fucking right now. No, I need them to fuck in a controlled environment. I need to find them before they start fucking. One last fucking freedom before getting captured. Come on, little bees. I have an idea. Can you let me talk? Yeah, go ahead. Maybe bad idea. Remember that the bees are fucking painted. Wait, Hornet, do you mean like in the chat or like on the stream? Cause I do have to go AFK audio. Okay. I have to go AFK in a little bit anyways. For like 10 minutes? So, if you would be down to be the intermission... I thought it was because I was talking about bees fucking and it was throwing him off. Yeah, that's what I thought too. but I can't stand my own voice, yeah, just put the stream on mute and you won't have to hear it. But I want you to know the stuff too. Well, I can keep my headphones on. I was not the one talking about bees fucking painted, you were. I can have my headphones on, so I'll still be able to hear it. If you want to do that. If you don't want to do that, that's okay. You have no obligation. I'll keep my headphones on as well. Bees are fucking. Thank you, Painted. You know, sometimes you gotta risk it. Do you want to do it, Hornet? Okay, I can pull you up if you want. Risk it for the biscuit, as I always say. Okay, I'm gonna pause that. Pause that. Hello?
Hello.
Pause that.
Hello. Hello. Hello.
Pause that. Alright, so you had some information about... Alright, everybody, this is Green Hornet. I can hear everyone 3 times.
Hello. 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 Yeah, I want to talk about what I thought of the newest episode of Strange New Worlds.
Alrighty, I'm gonna put myself on mute. You go ahead and talk, okay?
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much. So, of course, spoilers. If you don't want to hear about the new episode of Strange New Worlds, that's fine. Just I'm only going to be here for like 5-10 minutes, so just hold on. Okay, so Strange New Worlds. There's a so pretext that it's before Captain Kirk era. So the captain before Captain Kirk, it's Captain Pike. He's run the ship, and in the episode, his security officer, she's roaming the ship doing her security officer duties, and she runs into a time traveler, and the time traveler is bleeding out, and he's like, yeah, some happened in the past, you gotta go stop it, okay? And she goes on the bridge, and then there's Captain Kirk, but he's not supposed to be captain yet, so something happened to time. So she and him accidentally go back to sometime in the 21st century, I assume present day, and the Captain Kirk she's with, it's not our normal Captain Kirk that we know and love. So they're trying to figure out who changed something in time. Okay, hey, a bridge blew up or some. Okay, but wait, that was supposed to happen. But what was not supposed to happen was a a top secret, top secret research facility that's apparently always been like in the background. And so so rewind a little bit. um this is like knowledge you should know for stuff to make sense. The security officer, her descendant is Khan. um so Khan was a really big deal in Star Trek. He was a remnant of the eugenics war, where all of the big countries of the world, they tried to make the most superior Superman with genetics. And apparently Khan ruled like half the world in 1996. And you got to remember that that was written in like the late 60s, so it was the far future of 1996. um so it was kind of like revamped lately, where it's, oh, it happened between 2020 and 2060, because me being the giant Star Trek nerd I am, I know World War III is supposed to end in 2060. That's when humans meet Vulcans. That's when World War III ends, and then uh, Vulcans show up and go, "Hey, there's a whole bunch of us out here," and that's how humans learned about everybody else. Um, feel like I'm getting a lot off track here. Okay, but so the security officer in the episode, she is a descendant of Khan, who at some point between I don't know, 1996 and uh 2040, whatever, he was frozen and got launched into space with a whole bunch of other super people. Um so the security officer is a descendant of Khan, and we know Khan did horrible, horrible things. And um, so there's been apparently groups of time travelers who go back in time and try to correct things, and then the secret organization, which is unrelated to the time travelers. Sorry. There's a secret organization that is apparently working in the background, doing catastrophic things, um, like anything, like uh, like any major event, like Chernobyl or JFK being assassinated, like anything bad goes back to these guys working in the background, who have been kind of manipulating history so humans don't reach a certain technological um, level. So humans stay on Earth. Um, but there's time travelers going, hey, that's not really right. We humans should have advanced more. So time travelers have gone back and tried to kill Khan when he was a very young child. And so the security officer, who is his great 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 granddaughter, she saves him. Okay, and she goes back to the future. But the assassin at one point said, yes, people have tried to kill Khan a whole bunch of times. I even tried to kill him a whole bunch of times and get him off track, going all the way back to 1991. but time keeps trying to reset itself to make Khan a thing, because Khan is a very he's a very nuanced thing. Yes, he did very, very terrible things, but he was the foundation for Earth to go through World War III, leading to the introduction to the Vulcans, to the United Federation of Planets, to Starfleet, to all of the good things out into the galaxy. So we kind of know from all the different Star Trek shows that there's been different time wars and different like time traveling organizations just in the background. Like the original Star Trek had a time traveler. Next Generation had a whole bunch. Voyager, there was at least two different versions of the same time expedition. And then Deep Space Nine. There was a couple of traveling adventures, but I think that was more of a mystical artifact kind of situation. Enterprise had a recurring time traveler named Daniels who would show up every once in a while to the then Captain Archer, and go, "Hey, Captain Archer, something's wrong with time. Okay, hey, I'm going to send you back in time and have you fix it." Because the bad guys had their own had their own time traveling organization benefactor who'd give them information from the future to do things. So the good time traveling guys would give Captain Archer stuff to do to correct it. Let's see, and then Discovery had a couple time loop episodes. They went into the future. Maybe sort of the same future from that Daniels was from, but we don't know anymore because we don't really know how flexible time is for Star Trek. And then let's see. And to the viewers listening to this, I'm so sorry for my meandering. Okay, I'm just looking at the comments because maybe Painted is trying to tell me something.
He usually is trying to tell you something, but it's rarely important.
Okay, I was meandering so long I turned off the comments. Okay, and then we wanted to talk about the whales, right?
Yes.
Star Trek 5, the Journey Home. I don't know, the one with the whales, where some kind of aliens show up to Earth, and the Federation's like, "Oh my God, what is that?" And it turns out that it's like an alien probe going to Earth to find the last remaining whales, but Starfleet, Federation, whatever, they're like, "Yeah, the whales kind of died off a long time ago, but Captain Kirk and Spock, they're coming from some weird adventure they just came from after they blew up the Enterprise," and they're like, "Oh yeah, we got you. We can just time travel around the sun, and then we can go back in time and get some whales for you, no problem."
Fascinating.
So yeah, they got some whales from like SeaWorld or some, okay, and then they they put the whales into what was it? A Romulan ship, a Klingon ship. I don't know. One of the bird preys because they keep swapping who has the bird of prey. But they bring it back. Okay, everybody's happy. The probe gets to have their whales. Okay, and then it goes away. But during the episode or the movie, during the movie, do you remember the punk rock guy?
I've never seen it. I just know of its
You've
existence.
never seen it. Okay, they go back to 1980 something because that's when the movie came out. And there's a scene where Spock and Kirk are on a bus. They're riding to SeaWorld or wherever the whale is. And there's a guy with a boombox dressed all punk rocky with spiky hair and stuff, and everybody's like, "Oh my god, turn your music off! It's horrible!" And Spock does his Vulcan pinch thing and knocks the guy out, and everybody cheers, right?
All right, makes sense.
So we kind of have a sequel to that little snippet. So, of the many Star Treks we have now, there was Star Trek Picard.
Yes.
Where something happens, Picard's present day, it's all screwed up. It's more like the Terran Empire, where the Federation is evil. It's screw all the aliens. We're the best. Humans are the best. We're gonna kill everybody else, right? So something happened to pivot everything.
Okay.
So at one point, Picard's like, "Hey, yeah, we need to like go back in time, and I kind of know how to do that. Let's do what Kirk and Spock did like 100 years ago by going around the sun at warp speed. So right now I'm looking at a commercial. So I'm going to assume I can't hear you, Gecko, but I'm just going to keep rambling.
That's all right.
But Painted can't hear us though. But he wasn't listening anyway.
I mean, he was, but he wasn't. You know.
Yeah.
That's
He
fun
wasn't
about
asking. Well, I don't know Painted. I just know him as Ted.
Yeah. That's the fun with Ted. He listens, but he doesn't listen. So you can keep talking, and he'll catch up.
Okay, commercial's over. Okay, so Painted can hear us now, unfortunately. Let me think. What were we talking about? We were talking about Star Trek
Warp
Picard.
Speed. You can go around the sun at warp speed and time travel.
Yeah. He went, hey guys, we really need to go back in time to stop something from happening. And he's like, oh yeah, I know how to do that. Let's do what Spock and Kirk did like 100 years ago by turning on a warp drive while we're going around the sun, because apparently that makes you time travel. Which
Superman
makes perfect
logic.
sense. Which makes perfect sense.
Mm-hmm. Gotta make the Earth go the other way around.
Oh yeah, Superman does that all the time. Yeah. Did you watch Buzz Lightyear?
I have not seen that one yet.
Okay, never mind.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, they go back in time. Okay, and they're riding on a bus, and there's punk rock guy, but 30 years later.
Huh.
And it was like, oh my god, it's punk rock guy. And he looks like exactly the same, but he's old now, but he still has like the same boombox and playing the same music. And it's like the same thing, but 7 and 9's like, hey, can you shut that music off? And the guy's like, oh yeah, sorry, I kind of like this music. And and he's like holding on to his neck, and it's like, oh yeah, because Spock pinched him, and he was probably knocked out for a long time.
Oh gosh.
I don't.
That's funny.
Yeah, very, very, very humorous. Very, very, very droll. Yes, very, very humorous. Okay, Painted. What would you like to know about Star Trek? I assume he left.
No, I'm pretty sure he's still here. He's just trying to think of something to ask that's going to be interesting. And also you gotta account for
Him
chat
not
delay.
watching anything.
No, the
Uh,
delay. There's a
oh,
lot of times
oh
there's a
yeah, yeah, yeah,
delay.
yeah. Oh yeah,
So
yeah. Yeah,
you gotta account for that too.
yeah. I forgot about that because I'm talking to you,
Mm-hmm.
but there's a slight delay when you talk on my screen. So that means there's even more of a delay when it goes to him.
Yeah.
And plus it's painted. Sorry, painted. Okay. So I'm gonna assume he's still thinking.
Yeah.
Um so continuing our little discussion about Klingons from yesterday or the day before
Mm-hmm.
with the Klingon ridges.
Ridges. Yeah, that thing.
Ridges, how original series, no ridges, just bronze dudes.
Mm-hmm.
Then next generation, we have Worf, he has ridges. All the other Klingons have ridges. Voyager and Deep Space Nine, it's the same exact time in Deep Space Nine. Worf moved over there, so same continuity.
Okay.
Klingons have ridges. And then after Voyager was Star Trek Enterprise, which was like 200 years before the original series. Klingons in Enterprise had ridges.
Mm-hmm.
And then I told you about the whole thing how they went, ooh, humans had like this eugenics war. Okay, hey, let's get some of this genetic
Second
research to
links,
make
thank you for the
our
follow.
warriors even stronger, but they goofed it, and the research was based off of humans, so they
Yes.
humanized the Klingons.
Mm-hmm. So then they had no ridges.
No ridges because they had the Klingon flu. So that is why in the original series, Klingons do not have ridges.
Yes. And you said there
And
was a bit of an
then
update to that lore with the new stuff?
there's been a little bit. I kind of left something out
Okay.
because I was rambling so much. So after Enterprise, there wasn't Star Trek for, I don't know, 5 years, 6 years, something like that. It seemed like a really long time. Six years seems is like a really long time for someone in middle school and high school.
Yeah. Oh god. Yeah.
So after that 6 year drought, they came out with the newer Star Trek movies, which I believe you watched. The
I have
one
seen two of them. Yeah.
with Chris Pine as Captain Kirk,
Yes.
where the original Spock somehow he went back in time or something, and the timeline got goofed, and everything's just wrong,
Yeah.
kind of, sort of.
Mhm.
So in those movies, there was Klingons.
Yeah.
I don't remember if it was the second or third one. I think it was the second one. So
I know Khan didn't
Klingon,
come in until second, so
yeah, new con.
new Khan.
Um, so Klingons had ridges in that one.
Huh.
But they were cosmetically a little bit different too.
Hmm.
For some reason they had more jewelry too, but they had ridges.
That's interesting.
So then in 2016, 17, something like that, that's when Star Trek Discovery came out. And when that came out, nobody knew what timeline it was in. If it was in the movie timeline or the original timeline, nobody knew.
Mm-hmm.
But it turns out it may kind of sort of be in the original timeline, but that's I've seen that debated. Um, so in Discovery, there's Klingons, but they are super ridgy and blue, and
Hmm.
people didn't like that, so they kind of went back on the blue a little bit, but they were still super ridgy and their heads were elongated.
Okay.
So then this new show, Strange New Worlds, is supposed to be immediately after the Starship Discovery goes into the future because in the I don't know end of the second season or third season, I can't remember. There some things coming after them, and it's like, oh yeah, the only way to stop this thing from getting whatever it's looking for, we gotta go far into the future.
That makes perfect sense.
So Star Trek Strange New Worlds picks up like maybe 2 years after that, and it follows Captain Pike, who is the predecessor of Captain Kirk. Well,
Yes.
I left out that last week there was an episode, or 2 weeks ago actually, there was an episode with Klingons.
Ooh.
And those Klingons had ridges.
Fascinating.
Yeah,
So
they were semi standard issue Klingons, but they should have been ridgeless, bronzed Klingons.
unless something else happened in the timeline that the people on the ship that went that did the weird stuff, unless there's something that they did that changed it.
I don't know. I'm kind of subscribing to there's multiple timelines going synchronously right now.
That would make that's probably that makes more sense.
Because what I'm thinking is, so we knew there was some kind of weird funny stuff going on with the exact date of
Max Smith,
when
thank you for the
Khan
follow.
did stuff. What was his reign of power in 1996 or in 2020 to 2030?
Uh-huh.
So I think the Klingon, I think there might be multiple timelines going on at the same time.
Okay.
I don't know. There's something there in the subtext of this all.
Yeah, there's something going on there, which is very difficult for me as a former Whovian. Because it's
Ah,
like, you
okay.
gotta, it needs to be You have the rules. You need to follow the fucking rules.
Well, most people think of time as a straight line,
Mm-hmm.
cause and effect, but I see it more as a big ball of
Oh,
wibbly
wibbly
wobbly,
wobbly,
timey
timey
wimey
wimey.
stuff.
I know, but there's still rules, and Star Trek breaks the rules of Doctor Who, which makes sense because it's not Doctor Who.
So Payne, did you come up with your question yet? Or Payne had left the building?
I think he may have left, but that's okay. He's got his own stuff going on.
Okay.
But anybody else who has a question, go ahead, pipe in. And personally, I find all this kind of stuff fascinating. I'm not as big into watching Star Trek as I am into listening to people explain Star Trek.
Oh my gosh, I'm like so good at like just blabbing on and on about Star Trek.
I mean, dude, I've gained 2 followers while you've been talking. You're pretty good at it.
I have a lot of experience doing this kind of thing
Mm-hmm.
because I would just follow some guy around when I worked at Giant Eagle just talking about my favorite DC comics.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, there are people out there who just want to watch it and don't want to hear a rehashing of it. I understand that.
Yeah. Like Maximu in chat says he only watches, never reads or listens. But hey, we all have our tastes.
Yeah, the problem with listening to somebody, they might be on some wild tangent that doesn't work with your headcanon.
Yeah, that does make it hard to listen to people
And
sometimes.
and 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 then they just come up with like random stuff where it's like, okay, when was that? I must have missed that.
Oh yeah. Geez, Maximu has seen every episode of every series aside from what came out earlier today, but hasn't once read an article or fan theory. Dude, you need to get
Wow.
into do you at least read the fan fiction? Because like fan fiction is a huge part of what ended up saving Star Trek as a franchise. So you may want to take a peek at that stuff. Because it's important to the history.
So, Maximu, what do you think about the Klingons?
It's probably gonna be a complicated answer in terms of what?
terms in terms of what? The ridges.
Yeah, Klingon ridges. Thoughts? What's going on there? If you don't mind sharing your thoughts, if you do mind, that's totally fine. I honestly have no idea. There's countless ways they could explain it. That is true. That is the power of fiction. You can explain anything in any way and then say, no, the person who said that initial thing was actually lying. Anything as complex as multiple timelines or changes within timelines, Khan, Spock, etc., etc. or anything as simple as they just changed how they looked for new generation. Yeah, but I think they're trying to with what Hornet's been talking about. I'm pretty sure they're trying to come up with an explanation for this kind of stuff. So they're trying to justify why they got changed. Which, fair enough. Okay, bees were up. Come on, no, go back in the hive. No, you need to go to bed. Go to bed, bee. Yeah, go to bed. Go to bed. And now I steal your house. Alright, let's see if I can find one more hive.
So, Gecko, what's your thoughts on Doctor Who?
Oh gosh, it's been ages. Oh, Maximo doesn't remember a lot of the earlier stuff because he was pretty young when he watched, which is fair. There's a lot of content out there. Doctor Who, it's been years since I've watched consistently. Um, my family kind of stopped watching towards the end of 12. Um,
Okay, so you haven't watched any of the new stuff with the 13th Doctor.
have not. It was partially a we didn't have access to it type of deal, and partially, um, the lead up to the 12th Doctor was just kind of the lead up to 13 was just kind of cringe, if I'm being honest, in my opinion. And
Yeah,
I'm saying this even now as a trans person. I didn't know that at the time. At the time, I thought it was cringe. Even now, I think it was cringe. They could have done the lead up much better. But you know, I kind of wish I had given it a chance at the time, and I'm probably gonna go back and give it a chance later on. I just gotta get access to it.
so I kind of thought the lead up to it was kind of weird because he started dying at the what near the end of the episode with the that big long spaceship that was going into the black hole.
Yes, that was the last the part 1 of that was the last episode I saw.
So, oh, okay,
I did see the
okay,
Christmas special afterwards at some point, but um yeah, I we didn't even finish that two-parter cuz we just weren't invested. But yeah, so the starts dying around that point, and then it just takes forever because, drama.
yeah, he's dying for 2 episodes and a movie.
Yeah. Typical Doctor Who fashion. Like when I was talking about the lead in, I was talking about when they initially started foreshadowing that uh the 13th Doctor would be a woman. Uh that is what I think kind of set my family, which was pretty conservative at the time, into a just not as big of a fan. Um, I mean, and now I'm looking back on it, and it's kind of like, it's a cis straight guy trying to talk about the complexities of gender and sexuality. um, it's not necessarily going to be done well. Um, but yeah, yeah, that was so 12 was where we ended up dropping off. Um, you had thoughts about the spaceship parts.
No, I had thoughts about a little bit later on. Well, I just wanted to say, wow, it took so long for him to regenerate.
Yeah.
When all the other times it's, oh my god, I'm dying, and then pff, he just turns into somebody else. Most of the time.
Yeah, most of the time. Although there have been some that
Um,
have been pretty drawn out. Not that
so,
drawn out though.
okay, sorry,
Sorry,
what
go
was
ahead.
that?
Sorry, I was just thinking out loud about what I remember, like uh bits and pieces. You go ahead. I don't mean to keep on talking over you. It's just
No,
a thing that
no, no,
happens.
no, no, I'm your guest. I am your guest.
Yeah, I really shouldn't be
Um,
talking over you, dude.
so regeneration from 1 to 2, I can't remember what. I think he just got old,
Yeah.
and then he's like, oh my gosh, I'm turned into somebody else, and then poof, he turns into number 2, and then 2 to 3 that was forced because the doctor got pulled in by the Time Lords, and they went, yeah, you've been real bad. We got to reprimand you because you stole a TARDIS. So we're going to force regeneration on you, and you have your choice of what you want to turn into. But he couldn't make up his mind, so it's okay. We're just going to turn you into somebody else. Um, but I just want to note this. We do not see him turn from number 2 into number 3. That'll come up a little bit later.
Oh.
Uh, because there might be something with that. I just want to note that. So from uh 3 to 4, four is the one who had the big scarf.
Yes.
Um, and a lot of these I can't remember exactly what killed him.
I think he fell off a
Because it was
cliff.
okay.
I believe 4 fell off a cliff, because I seem to remember seeing the clip on YouTube at some point.
Um. Oh yeah. Okay. Um. So 3 to 4, can't remember. 4 to 5. Four, was it 4 to? One of them fell off a satellite dish,
That might have I think that was 4 to 5.
and
Not
then
100% sure though.
5 to 6. We see him turn into somebody else. But of course the special effect is different than what it is now,
Yeah.
because before it wasn't. They turn into a big fireball and they're blasting out fire all over the place, and then poof, their face changes and stuff, and they turn into somebody else. Before it was just they kind of just go sparkly, and then they it's just a fade in.
Yeah.
Okay, so 4 to 5, we see him change. 5 to 6, 6 to 7. But with that one, with 6 to 7, uh, the the actor who was number 6, he wasn't on set when when 7 took over.
Yeah.
So 7, the guy who played 7, he just had like a blonde wig or some on when they did his regeneration.
Yeah.
And then 7 to 8. Not a lot of people remember 8.
Yeah.
That's when the original run ended. The original run ended with 7,
Mm-hmm.
but there was a made-for-TV movie that was made in 1996, but it was about the millennium.
Yeah.
And that one,
It was supposed to introduce it to American audiences, if I remember correctly, and like try to get
yes,
it for a new show.
yes,
Didn't work.
but nobody got it.
Yeah.
So 7 to 8, he gets shot by some gangsters in San Francisco. And then he keels over, he gets pulled into an emergency room. They try doing the paddles on him to get his heart to start going again. But Time Lords have 2 hearts.
Yep.
So that kind of delays his regeneration and kind of gets him stuck dead for a little while. And then he just comes back to life. But number 8 had amnesia for the whole movie.
Huh. That's not
He
a.
didn't.
That doesn't sound like a great way to get people invested.
No, because he didn't remember he was the doctor till like the last third, I think.
Yeah.
And he didn't. That one didn't really use the TARDIS. The TARDIS just showed up at the end. Or wait a minute, no. The climax, the Master tried doing something with the TARDIS.
Hmm.
Sorry.
No problem.
So this is where things start to go weird.
Mm-hmm.
So the movie was never picked up for new seasons in the US. Sorry. So in 2005, that's when New Who started
Yep. Christopher
with number
Eccleston.
with number 9. And um ah I can't remember what killed him. Oh, wow. Yeah, Bad
Rose.
Wolf.
Rose did.
Yeah, Rose, Bad Wolf, yeah. Looking into the Eye of Harmony, and yeah, no, don't look in the Eye of Harmony. Bad stuff happens.
Yeah. It's kind of like Pandora's box.
Yeah, and apparently the Eye of Harmony is a sun in the center of the TARDIS,
Yeah. The ever exploding star.
stuck in 1 second,
Yep.
one moment. Um. Okay, so 9 to 10, Rose got him, and then 10, a Dalek shoots him.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, I just have a
10 was the
hand over.
radiation.
No, whoa! Wait a minute. Sorry. 10. He got shot by a Dalek. He started a Dalek. He got shot by one of those robot guys with the plungers.
Yeah.
He started to regenerate, and everyone's like, "Oh my god, he's starting to regenerate." He starts doing the explodey thing and shooting fire everywhere, and then he just shoots all that fire and stuff into a hand in a glass jar that got sliced off at some point.
Yep.
And that's a whole different thing.
Oh, I remember.
And that turns into another doctor who's stuck in a different universe or some now.
Yeah. He committed a genocide, so 10 was like, okay, Rose, you take care of him.
You fix him.
Yep.
So that may or may not have counted as regeneration. So 10 to 11, Donna's grandfather got stuck in a radiation chamber, and the doctor went, dang it, I've been doing so good. I gotta get you out of this radiation chamber so you don't die, but I gotta go inside of it and I'm definitely gonna die. Okay, I got you out. Okay, now I gotta go in. Oh, yep, I got radiation. I'm gonna die now. And he just walks out and he's like, dang, I got radiation now. I'm gonna die.
Yeah, that whole dramatic thing. Just just staring in the rain.
So that was 10 to 11. And he explodes inside the TARDIS and he shoots the console or some, so the TARDIS starts crash landing. And because it's a brand new regeneration, his brain's still cooking or something, so he doesn't know how to fly anything yet. So it crashes into Amy Pond's backyard.
Yeah. Honestly,
Um,
my favorite companion of all time.
so with Rory,
Mhm.
I'm kind of happy what show they put him in next. So, I, do you want me to keep going on the regeneration thing or take a Rory detour?
Uh, yeah, sure, take a Rory detour.
Okay, we got to remember to get back on the road. So
Don't
Rory
worry.
detour, Rory Pond, Mr. Amy Pond.
I fucking love Rory. It's Amy and Roy are like high key, kind of my OTP for quite a while.
So the guy who played Rory,
Hmm.
after he died for the 1500th time,
Hmm.
he was put on a show called Legends of Tomorrow.
Oh yeah, where he was basically the doctor.
Yep.
Yeah, I saw stuff about it. I never watched it. I should. I think it's still on Netflix. I'll have to check it out.
But it's one of those shows where it goes downhill after a couple seasons.
Eh, what doesn't?
Legends of Tomorrow is one of those kind of shows that forgets what it is after a couple seasons.
Mm.
In my mind, it forgets it was supposed to be a superhero show
Ah.
because Legends of Tomorrow, for whatever reason, they couldn't just go, oh yeah, this is the Justice League show. They had Legends of Tomorrow to my knowledge, there never that wasn't a team, but I might be wrong.
Hmm.
It happens. Um, but Legends of Tomorrow was all of the leftover superheroes from all the other shows that they just put on this one with the guy with the time machine.
Yeah.
Okay, that was the Rory detour.
Okay.
So back on the road, 11 to 12. 11, they do something weird with him where it's like, oh yeah, he's gonna die. Yeah, he died here, so he has to die. It's
Oh
a
yeah, the Fields of Trenzalore, and they never really address that whole issue.
so yeah. There was the Planet of Transidor. There was uh the Day of the Astronaut or some where he gets shot on a beach.
Hmm.
They do that a couple times, and he keeps doing the farewell tour that lasts like
Yeah.
100 years. Where it's like, well, I know I'm gonna die, so I'm gonna live it up and do a farewell tour of 100 years.
Yep.
So he ends up dying on what was it? The planet called Christmas?
I think it was a town called Christmas on the planet of Trenzalore.
Oh yeah. So that one he
That
lived
was like
for
after
like
several hundred years of just staying on
yeah,
town and like in the town and just like dealing with like whatever comes through the rift.
yeah, and then he's an old man.
Yep.
And then all what was it? All of the aliens wanted to get to Transidor, and the doctor kept killing them, whatever. And then a whole bunch of them show up, and it turns out that the rift was like a rift to the Time Lords or something. The Time Lords went, well, you need a lot of help, so we're going to give you more regenerations
Yeah, that
because
pissed me off.
because you are on your last regeneration, so we're going to give you a brand new set.
Yeah, because they have the
Because
doctor.
the at one point the Daleks are like, oh my god, he's regenerating. He can't regenerate. He used up his whole cycle. And the doctor's like, you're telling me the rules? Never tell me the rules.
Mm. Yeah.
And then he goes all exploding. Okay, so commercial started again, but I can still hear you
Oh,
because I don't
yeah.
think
We're on
Maximu
Discord.
or Painted are listening anymore.
Eh, who
Um.
cares? I'm having fun.
Okay. So am I. So let me think. Let me think. Let me think. Um. So yeah, he goes all explodey. He explodes everybody, and then he goes back into the TARDIS, and he's back to his standard age. And then he's starting to regenerate, and then he turns into Capaldi, and then Capaldi's like, "Hey, do you know how to fly this thing?" And then they crash,
Yep.
and I guess at some point they went into like prehistoric times
Yeah, because
because
then they accidentally bring a dinosaur to the Victorian
yeah, they
times.
actually pulled the dinosaur in there. They kind of skipped that part.
I think there's a short about it somewhere. Because a lot of the times when things do like a weird, when there's a weird jump in Doctor Who, there's usually like a short that actually explains it. And I believe I've actually seen the short. I just don't remember it. So,
So
yeah.
we have number 12, and then we know 12 dies of something. And it takes him
Yes.
forever to regenerate, and then he turns into Jodie Whittaker.
Yep.
I forgot to mention something. During the 50th anniversary, there
The War
was a
Doctor.
huh a
The
war
War
doctor.
Doctor.
A war
Yeah.
doctor. The war doctor was shoehorned in between number 8 and number 9. Oh
Yeah.
yeah, I forgot. We don't see 8 turn into 9,
Actually,
but
yeah, we see
we're
8
we're
turn into
introduced
the War Doctor, technically, in one of the shorts.
we're introduced to, yes, in one of the shorts we the eighth doctor's trying to save somebody. They crash land because that person didn't want his help because of the time war's happening. And it's, oh my god, you're a time lord, you're bad. Okay, they crash land, and there's like witches or something on that planet, and he's like, yeah, I'm so sad. I don't want to be me anymore because nobody likes me anymore. And the witches are like, oh yeah, we have potions that'll turn you into whoever you want. We can turn you into a strong doctor, a weak doctor, whatever you want. And he's like, I want to be a war doctor. So we do see number 8 turn into number 9. kind of. It's a reflection of the War Doctor as a younger man, but it works. So the 50th anniversary special happens, and the War Doctor, he's dying. Okay, and then we kind of see him regenerate into 9.
And there's a reason for that, because Eccleston didn't want to be involved anymore.
Yes, he didn't want to go beyond a season. Yeah, you got a commercial going on or something.
Oh dear.
Something's happening.
Oh, I put up my "We'll be right back" screen because I gotta deal with something, but I can have the audio on in and out.
Okay, very good. Um, okay. So let's see. We have doctor number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, war 9, 10, 10, 11, 12, 13. And then spoilers, which I don't want to do that.
All right, fair enough.
Because you haven't seen anything past Whitaker, so spoilers. I want to say so much, but I shouldn't.
I mean, it's you're welcome to if you want. I'll
I
probably I'll be still as invested in watching. If anything, I'll be more invested.
I really don't want to, because this could turn you off. So okay, so okay, little, not big spoiler, but medium spoiler, not little spoiler, medium spoiler.
All right.
The, the Jodie Whittaker doctor, she finds somebody that the June Dune are going after. You remember the June Dune of the moon?
Oh yeah, the Jadoon of the Moon, the race that they
The
specifically wrote
platoon
into the series to get
of
David Tennant to say "ooh" without sounding Scottish.
so 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 there's an episode where they find themselves at a town that's been locked down by the Jadoon.
Hmm.
And the Jadoon are going after a lady in a lighthouse, and the lady in the lighthouse has a watch.
Oh, I know what that means.
So she breaks open the watch, and she regains some memories.
Hmm.
And the Jodie Whittaker doctor goes outside and digging some in the sand, and she finds a TARDIS, her TARDIS.
Oh,
And the woman comes outside and goes, "Hi, I'm the doctor."
yes. Yeah, I remember hearing a lot about this when it happened.
So I've seen theories on this. Where do you put this doctor? But the best theory I've seen is that she is Doctor 2.5,
Oh.
because we do not see Doctor Number 2 turn into Doctor Number 3 in the vest that Doctor Number 3 comes out of the TARDIS with when he's banished to Earth. The vest kind of looks the same as what this mystery doctor is wearing. Um, and then that doctor just goes off to wherever she belongs.
Yeah.
Um, okay, so this is the big one. This is the, oh my god, what the hell? Um, so you can shut me up at any time.
Gotcha.
This is the big one. So during, okay, I'm just making sure um there's nobody in chat going, hey, stop, don't do it. Um, okay, so near the near the end of like the second season of the Jodie Whittaker Doctor, because the Jodie Whittaker Doctor, I think she had like 2 seasons and then like a mini series that came
Yeah.
out all at once. It was weird. All the episodes were like tied together. It was like one big adventure, but each episode was like a puzzle piece to that adventure,
Yeah.
which was kind of interesting. So near the end of the second season, there is a planet that's been completely ravaged, and the only one left is an old man who has a portal to somewhere. Somebody shows up to the planet and he goes, yeah, let me show you where my magical portal is. It'll take you to somewhere real nice where you belong. And he ushers them into the portal. The doctor goes up to the portal and the master pops out. And the master his is like, yeah, I went back to Gallifrey and everything went to shit. Well, I killed everybody, but everything went to shit. And I kind of just dug around a lot and went into like what they call their supercomputer, the Matrix.
I'm not sure I
Um,
remember that part, but yeah.
the
On the computer.
the older Doctor Who episodes have like a big supercomputer that knows everything.
Yeah, I had like a
Um,
huge I had like a big fat fact book for Doctor Who stuff, so a couple years ago I probably could have told you exactly what it was, despite not having seen any of that shit, but now I have no recollection.
so the Master shows the Doctor the supercomputer and goes, "Hey, I really gotta show you something."
Uh-huh.
And it shows the Doctor's origin.
Oh
And,
yeah.
and the Doctor's like, "No, that can't be my origin. I know where I came from." It's like, no, your mind has been wiped so many times. You don't know,
Hmm.
but it's bad. It's really bad. Um, so there's so many layers to this. The Doctor is not a Time Lord.
Fascinating.
I
I
I
hadn't heard that part of the information.
I can see you are in awe.
Yeah.
That's why I was so hesitant, because that's a mind breaker.
Yeah, it is.
So it's, yeah, you're not who you think you are. You're not a Time Lord. You're like the original Time Lord. That's where Time Lords got their Time Lord power from. They
Yeah, I knew
stole it
that
from
part.
you,
Yeah.
which So by the rule of escalation, you went from, oh yeah, you have 12 regenerations to, oh yeah, you have a brand new set of 12 new regenerations.
Mm-hmm.
And then they just turn around and go, yeah, but the doctor's not even a Time Lord. They're not even, yeah, they're not a Time Lord. There's some mystery species that have the power to regenerate indefinitely.
Hmm. Okay,
Because the
so they
Time
closed up
Lord,
that plot hole.
huh?
So they tried to close up that plot hole, but just kind of created another whole mess of issues.
So before that, I didn't see a plot hole.
Well, they're probably trying to deal with not they probably don't want to have to deal with the fact that the Time Lords gave regeneration energy to the Doctor. So they were probably like, okay, how do we explain this? We'll just say it's something entirely different. Which, you know, fair enough, but they,
I I, I mean I mean if you count the number of doctors, okay,
mhm,
hey, maybe we were tricked and there was the number doesn't really add up to a doctor with 12 regenerations equaling 13
mhm,
because you had regeneration clones and secret regenerations and blah 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 blah
yeah,
blah. Um so yeah, once upon a time there was somebody from Gallifrey who was just traveling around in the universe as people do, and they find a planet with a big tower and a portal above that tower, and a little girl falls out of the portal at the base of the tower. So the Gallifreyan takes the little girl home and pretty much adopts her, and the little girl is playing with the little boy, and one day the little boy accidentally pushes the little girl off of a cliff, and everything's okay. The little girl has regeneration powers, and the scientists are like, huh, that's so weird. So they force regeneration on that little child many, many, many times to figure out how the regeneration works.
hmm,
So we don't know how many regenerations there were before what we know as the original Doctor,
yeah,
because we thought the first Time Lord was Rassilon.
mhm.
We thought Rassilon came up with the secret of regeneration. So yeah, the Doctor is not a Time Lord. Oh yeah, and then at one point the scientist, the Jodie Whittaker doctor ran into that scientist again, and the scientist is like, "Oh yeah, I saved like all your memories in this fob watch. Here you go." And the doctor pretty much flushes that fob watch down into the bowels of the TARDIS.
Hmm.
So maybe we'll see those memories, but we don't know.
Well, they may do something with that with the upcoming special, because they're doing something about going back, because they're uh they're bringing back David Tennant. So they're doing something. So they may actually explore it.
Yes. David Tennant came back. Would you like me to spoil his regeneration, or you already know he turns back into David Tennant?
Yeah. Yeah, go ahead, spoil away.
So something happens. Jodie Whittaker, doctor's dying. Okay, hey, they're gonna regenerate, but she was smart. She parked the TARDIS somewhere and went outside of the TARDIS for once instead of inside of the TARDIS and exploding. Which
That
that was kind of
is...
that was a running thing for a while.
Yeah.
The Doctor would always go inside of the TARDIS and explode, and always explode inside the TARDIS. And it's like, well, we need a new TARDIS now.
Amazing.
Yeah, she was smart. She went outside of the TARDIS. So she's regenerating. She's exploding outside the TARDIS, but something's not right. The clothes regenerate too, and then oh my god, it's David Tennant.
Mhm.
Which when that happened, it's like, wait a minute, clothes aren't supposed to regenerate as well.
Yeah.
Um,
But the thing that
so
explains it all hasn't come out yet, right?
no, the thing that explains what that's all about, that hasn't come out because it's going to be in the 60th anniversary special,
Mm-hmm.
which is 4 parts.
Oh god, it's the 60th. Jeez. You know, the first, like, major, like, nerd event I ever went to was the 50th anniversary. Because they showed Day of the Doctor in theaters. That was my first big nerd thing as a kid. It's so wild now to be like, oh yeah. And when the 60th happens,
That was 10 years ago.
I
I
know.
was already I was already out of high school. I had a job.
Time flies.
Yeah, I think we need to fix that at some point.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't want the hook your brain to the computer immortality. That just seems bad.
Eh. Eternal Youth would probably be better, but you know.
Well, most stories kind of split it between eternal youth or you live forever.
Yeah.
If you're smart, they combine them. But if your genie is really stubborn that day, they might take it one way or the other,
Oh yeah.
or they Benjamin Button you.
Yeah. But that's like in the future. Jeez, I still had a crush on my first boyfriend at that time. It's wild. I mean, like, That's actually where I got my Minecraft username from, the 50th. The curator. Because there was the
Oh yeah,
supposed
I forgot
50th
all about the
incarnation of
Great
the
Curator.
Doctor by Tom Baker.
Okay, wait a minute. Hold on. I forgot all about him. Sorry.
Yeah.
So with him, he's kind of, we don't know where to put him because even the curator says, "Are you a future me or am I a future you?" I guess we won't know.
Yeah.
So he might be a future Doctor, but he might just be number 4 that he might just lived his life out. Um, but with this whole David Tennant thing going back to previous doctors, okay.
It's just, it's wild how things change sometimes.
Yeah, or they don't go how you expect them to.
Yeah. That too.
So, how much do you know about comic books?
I have a couple comic books. I'm not a major comic book person. But I know a bit.
So did I tell you about Doomsday Clock?
I don't think so.
I mean, probably not because I don't remember typing it out. But I remember like telling somebody like the whole thing just like a couple days ago. So I got it all rehearsed. I got it all ready. Okay, let's
Perfect.
go.
Let's go.
Yep, I rehearsed it in front of a live a live imprisoned audience.
Mm.
No, that's not the word. They couldn't go anywhere. They were stuck at their cubicle. Um, yeah.
Well, that's their
You,
fault.
they were eating lunch, and I just swooped in and started blabbing.
Yeah.
So it's their fault for staying at their cubicle. Yeah.
They existed within 5 feet of you. At that point, it's on them.
Well, I had to walk to their cubicle because my cubicle is on the opposite side of our area, right?
Okay,
So
fair
he was
enough.
on the opposite end of our stack of 4 or 5 or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Okay. Anywho, well, let me regale you with the tale of Doomsday Clock.
Okay.
So, Doomsday Clock, you have characters from Watchmen show up. You seen Watchmen?
No, but I know about it.
Okay. So you have Dr. Manhattan, right?
Yes.
Blue guy who is the one of the only actual superheroes in the whole world of Watchmen. And at the end of Watchmen, he goes, "Yeah, I'm kind of bored of this world. I'm gonna go somewhere else, and I might start some new life of my own."
Mm-hmm.
So when Doomsday Clock came out, they went, "Oh, it's going to be a continuation of Watchmen," and everybody freaked out and went, "Oh my God, Dr. Manhattan made the DC universe."
Okay.
Well, no. Um, so there was 12 issues to that comic. It was supposed to come out one per month, but somehow it was stretched into 2 years and a half. Because at the time there was a they were doing like a big shift over on who worked at DC, and they were having like another big crossover happen at the same time. So if you pair the two up side by side, it gets confusing as hell.
Yeah, makes sense.
Because if you put two world shattering things next to each other, which one do you follow?
Yeah. That definitely
So
sounds difficult.
it was. Um, so let me think. And I went through all this before too, but I kind of like I I I kind of did it like in snippets to the other guy. Um so at the beginning of Watchmen, you have a couple character Doomsday Clock. At the beginning of that, you have a couple people from the Watchmen universe show up. They're trying to find Dr. Manhattan. They know Dr. Manhattan went to that world. And somehow they summon him with a Green Lantern, but Alan Scott's Green Lantern, and Alan Scott does not exist in this world. And Alan Scott is the Green Lantern of World War II.
Okay.
Because leading up to Doomsday Clock, there was a couple of reboots where all the continuity was weird. Oh my God, 5 years have been stolen from us. Um, oh my God, what's Jor-El still doing around? Jor-El was pulled off of Krypton like the second it was taken from somebody, and Jor-El's working for somebody, and we don't know who that is, and
Mm-hmm.
the button that was this is such a mad rant. I love it. Sorry, I'm so sorry.
No problem.
So so the button. Um. How did the bun go again? The bun was Batman is in his bat cave, and the cave gets struck by lightning, and there's a button inside of the cave wall, and he digs it out, and it's a smiley face bun with blood on it.
Hmm.
So that was the big hint that Watchmen was bleeding into. Oh, sorry, was bleeding into the mainstream universe. Um, so if you're not familiar, the bun belonged to a guy called the Comedian, and he was a member of frick, what was their team called? I forgot. I forgot. He the comedian was a quote unquote superhero in the 40s into the 60s, and he was part of two teams, and he's kind of a big deal. And at the beginning of Watchmen, he dies,
Okay.
and he always had a smiley face bun on him. And when he died, he got his blood all over it.
Okay.
And somehow that bun's in Batman's Batcave.
Okay.
And then Kid Flash shows up. And Kid Flash did not exist in the timeline at that point. And he rambles on about, oh my god, they stole 5 years from us. He took it all from us, da 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 da. And I can't remember if it was part of the bun or not. Because that bun stayed in the Batcave for a while, and then they had to come back to it, I think, at some point.
Okay.
And Batman calls the Flash up and goes, "Hey, do you know anything about a Kid Flash?" And he's like, "Yeah, I know about a Kid Flash. He's my cousin." But that's not right. The Kid Flash we saw was not his cousin. It was his brother. Some other family relation. I don't know. It gets confusing.
Okay.
Gets confusing. I think it was his brother, stepbrother. I don't know. Okay. I'm getting so off track here.
It's okay.
Okay, the button. Batman finds the button. He calls the Flash up because the Flash his day job is as uh, a forensic analyst. He does he does that kind of thing. And the Reverse Flash shows up all beat up. And it's like, dude, what happened to you? And the Reverse Flash is like, yeah, the blue guy beat me up. What? Yeah, the blue guy beat me up, and then he's struck by lightning and he explodes. So deep in thought.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yes. So deep in thought. um. So the Flash is like, oh yeah, let's use my cosmic treadmill and let's figure out like what's going on with this bun. And they go they go into the Speed Force or something. There's like images of like the Justice League and stuff, but it's like, wait a minute, is this the past? Is it like alternate timelines? What is this? Because it's images of all the previous versions of the Justice League.
Okay.
Like like the Justice League of the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, the 90s. Like, it's like, wait a minute, I know some of these people, but it's like, it's not right. None of this happened. And it's kind of like a weird thing where it did happen, but there was other time travel shenanigans. The universe reset itself, so it gets complicated.
Okay.
Reboots happened.
Yeah.
And then they run into the Reverse Flash, and it's like, where are you going? Oh, I'm gonna try to get like I'm gonna beat up the guy who's doing this to us, and then you see him get blown away, and then that's where you see him pop up into the Batcave. It gets confusing as hell.
Okay, yeah.
And the Reverse Flash is a guy in the future who idolized the Flash, and he went, "Oh, I'm going to become the Flash. I'm going to recreate his powers and become the Flash." And the Flash shows up, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm going to be like your sidekick. We're going to be great buddies." But the Flash like shows him up, and it's like, "I hate you now. I want to kill you because you showed me up, and you weren't the hero I thought you were."
Yeah. Classic.
Okay, so da 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 da. The Okay, Doomsday Clock, the event comic Doomsday Clock. You have people from the Watchmen universe. They're trying to find Dr. Manhattan. They summon him, and he's pretty much like, "Oh yeah, I've been around for a while. I've been checking out this timeline. But something's not right." Because when he first showed up in the DC universe, he showed up to what was pretty much Action Comics #1, right? With Superman holding up the green car, smashing it into a rock, the original Superman comic, right? And he's like, "Wow, who's that Superman guy?" And then he's gone, and it's like, wait, what happened? And it's, wait a minute, time's shifting on me. Something's a little different here. And he's seeing Superman progress through the ages, right?
Okay.
So he's jumping like every like 5 years or some, and he's like, "Okay, there's Superman. Okay, there's the Justice Society. They're doing some, and then they're gone." And he's like, "Wait, what's going on here?" So he's like, "Okay, I gotta figure out what's going on here. Let me ground myself. Let me center myself on someone else." So he just finds like some random guy. He finds a washed up actor, and he shows up to the guy, and he's like, "Hey, can you come to this diner the same time every year, and I want to talk to you. And nobody else can see me but you, but I want to talk to you every year, every couple years, and you tell me what's happening." And he kind of realizes that the timeline's shifting on him as DC Comics mythology is changing.
That's an interesting way to deal with that.
So then at some point he's like, "Okay, that's very interesting." Because he is a scientist, he's trying to do some scientifically. Do we know the origin of Dr. Manhattan? Do we know how Dr. Manhattan became Dr. Manhattan?
No.
No. Okay, would you like me to tell you?
Yeah.
I don't want to.
You
I already spoiled.
Yeah,
I already spoiled so much
I
for you
think I
tonight.
knew at one point, but I do not remember.
Okay, so the story of Dr. Manhattan was, once upon a time there was a scientist guy at a top secret research facility, as scientists do. And he had a girlfriend. I think they were married or were going to get married. Okay. And he had a favorite watch because his father was a watchmaker and his father taught him how to be a watchmaker, how to put watches back together. They have all these piece parts and you can put them back together. He had a watch, and the experiment they were working on was a field subtractor machine. So generally with physics, there's certain forces, right?
Mhm.
There's a gravitational force, there's an electromagnetic force, there's forces that keep atoms together, right? So
Yeah.
sometime in the 40s, in the Watchmen universe, they're working on a machine that can subtract forces. For whatever reason, they made a machine that can unbind atoms to just like delete atoms from existence.
Why would you
Well, when
delete atoms? We have a limited number of those. That seems incredibly counterintuitive.
um okay, I'm gonna check something. It's not relevant at all,
Okay.
but I want to check some just for factual sake, which I have not done.
Okay.
Watchmen, Doctor, oh, not Mr. Manhattan, Dr. Manhattan. He went to doctor school. He didn't go to Mr. school. Dr. Manhattan, Watchmen, John Osterman. Okay, da 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 da. Nuclear physicist. Da 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 da. Let's see. Da 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 da. Okay, 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 okay. Yes, 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 yes. Yeah, looking at these Wikipedias, sometime you're. I kind of wonder sometimes where all this information comes from.
Mhm.
Okay, so sometime after 1945, when the bombs drop,
Yep.
he becomes a nuclear physicist. Then he's working on an experiment um to make a machine that can delete binding forces. So one day he's working on the machine and he accidentally leaves his favorite watch in there. But he goes in there and accidentally hits the go button to make the machine go, and it locks the door. And he goes, "Hey, can one of you guys let me out?" And they're like, "No, the door's locked. We can't let you out. I'm so sorry. You're gonna die." What? And then he explodes. The end.
Jeez. I get the feeling there's slightly more to that.
There is. He somehow reconstituted himself
Ah.
because he deleted his earthly vessel, right? But somehow his mind was able to um recreate himself.
Hmm.
But he had to do it in parts. That there it's it in the movie, it's pretty much, yeah, we saw like a skeleton walking around, and then like a circulatory system, and then like we just saw like organs, and then one day he just like reconstituted himself as like the perfect man with no clothes on. And the army's like, yeah, that's awesome. The first Superman is an American. We're gonna put him in the army, and he's gonna do stuff for us. And he can manipulate stuff at the atomic level.
Yeah.
But his favorite trick is to explode stuff.
Okay.
There. Oh, wait a minute. There was a reason why I told you the origin story. It was. Okay. So yes, he reconstituted himself as the perfect man, and I guess at the same time he can see time in a non-linear way. He can see time all at once, then past the future. Okay, so you got Dr. Manhattan. Oh, yeah. Okay, so Dr. Manhattan was in the DC universe, and he's like, yeah, what's going on here? I don't really get it. I'm seeing stuff unfold and like reconfigure itself. And that's just the continuity of DC Comics just evolving through the years. And yeah, he was a scientist, so he tried to do some experiments to figure out what's going on. And he's like, okay, so back in 1930 some, there was this guy called the Green Lantern. And what if I just push his magic Green Lantern out by a couple inches so he can't touch it? What effect is that going to have happen on the timeline? And for the longest time, everybody blamed the Flash. So there was a time travel story with the Flash. He does something. Time's not right. He fixes it. And time is still not right. And everybody blamed him.
Okay.
And there has been so many different variations of that story. The Flash TV show has done it like 2 or 3 times. There's been a cartoon movie because there was like an animated DC universe like continuity for like 10 years and nobody really cared, but it's like the last movie was like, oh my gosh, this is so awesome. It's pulling together like a ton of these cartoon movies over the last 10 years. It was like the end game of DC Universe, only if they pulled that to live action. Now they're doing this same, well, they're using part of that story in the new, the story where Flash time travels. They're using that story. It's kind of like a jumping off point for this new Flash movie that came out that apparently has not been doing so hot.
Yeah.
Okay. The Flash. Everybody blame Flash. Time's not right. It was Dr. Manhattan. Dr. Manhattan did it. Just, huh?
I was just saying, I guess that is just kind of like acknowledging that
Oh, yeah.
Dr. Manhattan caused the problem.
Which, in a linear point of view, okay, but I still have so many questions. And I'm so sorry if I'm going on all these random detours.
No, I find this stuff really interesting. I'm just kind of tired. So, can we wrap this up and do this again later? Because I found this like really interesting.
Oh, okay. 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 Just remember where we're at.
Okay.
I guess. I think your audio cut out.
Oh no.
Oh no, you're there.
All right, good.
Okay. I kind of feel like I should get to some kind of conclusion.
Yeah. When I say wrap up, I mean like you got like
Even
you know
though it's
you
an
can wrap
endless
up, and if it
thing.
takes like 5-10 minutes, that's fine. But like rein in the
Oh
the
yeah.
detours at this
Dang.
point.
Oh dang! I didn't realize it was like midnight. Okay.
Yeah. Well, it's getting there.
Okay. Let's do this. So in 2011, there was the Flashpoint storyline. Flash goes back in time. He does something. Time's not right. Okay, he somehow makes it right again. And things aren't right. Things aren't what they used to be in the new continuity. I didn't like that. I just got out of high school at the time. I really liked Green Lantern and Booster Gold.
Mm-hmm.
Green Lantern, they kept kind of going what they were doing. They used the storyline, just kept going off of it, but they kept backtracking, going, well, that didn't happen, and that didn't happen, and that didn't happen. But to a certain point, stuff did happen. And then Booster Gold, he's a time traveler from the 25th century. He does time travel adventures. He stops bad time travelers from changing time. Da 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 da. His suit is equipped with anti-time travel stuff. So he was actually there in that adventure that the Flash had when the Flash goofed up time. His suit prevented him from being rewritten. But he was rebooted after Dr. Manhattan did whatever he did.
Oh.
Which that went so you got to remember that this was years apart. 2011, I'm reading my Booster Gold comic book. Oh my god, I can't wait for this to keep going, and I can't wait for this storyline to keep going. And then it's there's a crossover with the Flash, and I see that, and it's like, okay, his suit prevents him from being incorporated into this new timeline. Okay, Flash fixes it, and it's like, wait a minute, it got rebooted. And then at the end of Booster Gold's story, he just goes back home, right?
Okay.
He doesn't know what the Flash did. He just from his point of view, he just went home and go, well, no, he didn't go home. That's right. He didn't go home at the end. At the end, he's helping the Flash get up enough time travel energy, whatever, to break through. And Booster Gold kind of goes back to his time, but as kind of like a ghost.
Oh.
And there's been like a running thing that the guy he works for has a blackboard that always has stuff scribbled on it that would always lead to stuff in future stories of other characters. And every once in a while the chalkboard would be changed. And his boss would go, wait a minute, who changed my chalkboard? This is really bad. The chalkboard shouldn't be changed. Because if the chalkboard's changed, that means some change in time.
Okay.
And at the end of this storyline, Booster Gold goes back to his present day as like a ghost, kind of, and he writes all of the things he saw in this storyline on the chalkboard, which leads to him going on that adventure in the first place.
Oh God, not the bootstrap.
It's worse than a bootstrap.
It gets worse.
No, it's worse than a bootstrap because it's self-fulfilling, but it dead ends, right?
Doesn't the bootstrap dead end?
I thought the bootstrap was self-fulfilling.
Bootstrap is you get inspired by Beethoven. You get a time
No,
machine. You take Beethoven's music back to him before he's written it. He writes his music based off of his own music.
yes, I guess that would be bootstrap. Okay, so then Flash's time travel adventure, time has changed. Things aren't the same as they were before. Booster Gold is different.
Mhm.
In this one, yes, he came from the 25th century. Yes, he worked at a... No, he didn't. I didn't go into his origin. In the new version, it's more military oriented. There was a military experiment, and he went back in time instead of the original timeline, or the prime timeline, whatever you want to call it, because he is a time traveler. So time travel shenanigans used to affect him before he got recruited by Rip Hunter, who was played by the guy who is Rory.
Okay.
Which is also Booster Gold's son, but we might get to that a different day.
Yeah.
And in the original timeline, he was a failed football star that worked at a science museum that had a superhero experiment, or a superhero exhibit. And one day he's like, how hard could it be to be a superhero? I could be a superhero and become rich and famous. He stole a bunch of stuff, and there just happened to be a time machine from even further point in the future sitting in the corner that works. So he went to the present day of 1985. Which is way more entertaining than, yeah, he was part of a military experiment for time travel.
Yeah. I
But
mean, it seems like a famous last words type of scenario. Like, how hard could it be to become a superhero? Famous last words. But it didn't turn out that way for him.
well, so with him, he always tried to be in the good Justice League, because when he was in the Justice League, it was the extra guys. It wasn't the good Justice League with Superman and Batman. I mean, they were there, but it wasn't the good Justice League.
Mm-hmm.
So he always tried to get into the good Justice League. But he was destined for greater things, and he had to fulfill some greater thing.
Mm-hmm.
And there's so many times where he is prophesized as some great hero, and his tagline, like, Superman's the man of tomorrow, Batman is I forget Batman's. Green Lantern, the man without fear. Flash, the fastest man alive. Booster Gold's tagline: the greatest hero you'll never know.
Oh.
The greatest superhero you never heard of. Because before 2011, his thing was, yes, he's going on all these epic time travel adventures, but he's not supposed to tell anybody. He's just supposed to keep doing what he has been, which is be the money grubbing, talent stealing, wannabe superhero who's trying to become rich and famous to protect his identity as the greatest hero you'll never hear of.
Mm.
So his secret identity is himself.
Ooh. That is something.
It's something. Okay. What other changes were made in this new timeline? It's called the New 52, by the way, because there was 52 comics originally. So Batman is mostly unchanged. Green Lantern is mostly unchanged. They just kind of just like retconning what his old adventures were, but just kept going. Same with
Okay.
Batman. Superman is kind of sort of the same, but they reestablished a bunch of things. And then they gave Phantom Stranger an origin story. And Phantom Stranger is supposed to be like the Man in Black figure that just shows up and just helps you with stuff.
Okay.
And he's supposed to be like kind of mystical and stuff, but he's like a guy who just shows up in a suit and in a fedora, and he's like the like the Men in Black.
Okay.
So they gave him a origin story a long time ago in ancient times. He did some really bad, so a bunch of wizards cursed him to live forever, but nobody will know who he is.
Okay.
Everybody will forget who he is. So he's the Phantom Stranger.
All right.
So I thought that was kind of cool, but then the further into who did what and how did this happen, it doesn't make sense. Because I said Dr. Manhattan's the source of all this because he changed a couple things in the late 30s, early 40s by changing the origin story of the first Green Lantern, not the Green Lantern who's in space. That's I might clarify what the difference is, maybe. But how could that change things for the Phantom Stranger?
Mm-hmm.
Who that might have been his original origin story. I'm not sure. That's kind of the thing. Nobody knows what his origin story was. Because was he cursed? Is he an angel? Nobody knows. Because I think there was one origin story where he's death. He's the angel of death.
Huh. That's cool.
So they kind of packaged his curse with a couple other characters because a couple characters came in to the Wizard Tribunal, and the Wizard Tribunal cursed them all at once. And another character was the Question. So the original origin for him was he's like a TV anchor or some, and he goes out is like is a superhero at like night or some, and his gimmick is that he has no face. He has like a special mask he puts on that makes his face go away. And his gimmick is just asking a bunch of questions. So he's a normal dude who has a special mask, and his gimmick is just asking a whole bunch of questions.
Well, I mean, that's a good way to annoy people and just not doing crime.
And I think some of like his bad guys were, and you got to remember that he was made in like the 60s.
Mm-hmm.
So his original bad guys were an artist that didn't feel like he was loved enough, so he pulled a Scooby-Doo and tried doing crimes as one of his statues that has a heart carved out of it.
I mean, it's certainly a statement.
And then he has what the hell are those guys called? I forget. There's a group of 3 bad guys that's his signature bad guys who are called like the Mad Moppets or something. I can't remember the exact name, but they're like 3 Jokers.
Oh.
Like but they're like different colors. What one's like with like green stripes, one's with like orange stripes, one's with like black stripes, but they're like three little Jokers.
I mean, if it ain't broke.
Okay, so the new origin of the Question, it was tied to this Wizard Tribunal that happened a long time ago, and apparently this guy was like very well known. He did some really bad, And the wizards went, nobody will know who you are. So they took his face. But that makes me question the causality of how that came to be, and is he immortal?
I'm gonna be honest, I would probably have something to say if I had the brain space. I think I've reached my limit of information for tonight.
You're coming up with ideas.
No, I can't come up with ideas. My brain just isn't working.
Okay.
I think, yeah. I think we need to table this and pick it up later. This has been really fun, though.
Okay. Yeah, maybe next time we'll make it a little bit more streamlined instead of me going, ooh, let me talk about Booster Gold. Ooh, let me talk about the question. Ooh, let me talk about Dr. Manhattan. Oh, yeah, Dr. Manhattan's this. Oh, yeah, let's talk about this. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Or maybe I'll do it earlier in the day so I don't get tired. But alright, I will see you I'll see you later.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
And that stream chat goes for you as well. Because I am very sleepy. It's not quite midnight, but I took my melatonin during the break. And it is knocking me out. Excuse me. So I'm gonna do one more round of snipping the bees. But I'm gonna do that without you guys and just kinda... Well, actually, yeah, we'll go ahead and raid Beer Funger. Tell him I said hi. And we'll just chillax. Alright, I will see you guys in the next one. Good.